Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going to have a very brief overview of the Cloud Wanderers and what I have access to so far. We have the boss, the tank, the healer, and the melee damager. Very interesting characters. This is not going to be a spotlight video, but we'll be playing with them in Arena. Now please remember this is very early access. There can be changes to come. Please keep that in mind. And there is one little part I want to show that I'm excited about because I love when they do things like this. It's different and it just gives them more value than just PvP units. So we're covering that as well. So we'll jump in. This is the team we're using. We're using Rock for a freeze to give us more opportunity to cast our abilities and get a bit more damage out there and just see how they work in general. We'll be versing a full Assassin's Guild since they're the newest faction. But please remember, anything can change from here till the point of their actual release. So keep paying attention to any Discord notifications, Facebook notifications on anything that is announced about these heroes. So let's jump into the arena, play around with them, and talk about these cloud folk. So moving into arena, let's cover the most important part of this faction. What is their biggest strength? Their biggest strength is their health pools. They are one of the tankiest teams within the game simply because of their health. Ramfurt, for example, is sitting at a whopping 17 million health points. That is one of the, if not the largest health pool in the game. Unbuffed, not benefiting from any leadership skills. He is an absolute well of health, and it's not going to be easy to take him out. On top of that, that's not even taking into consideration his defensive capabilities or any other defensive abilities the team has. So he is going to be taking a lot of hits, and he is probably one of the most efficient tanks in the game for taunting. Let's not talk about bypassing taunts, but taunting, he's going to have it covered. He is on it. He is learnt from the best. Magnus has taught him personally since he hatched from an egg, and yeah, he is insane when it comes to taking. Roxanne, let's go ahead and use an ability first. We're going to use Solar Storm, apply some static to the enemy. Roxanne is an interesting leader. In terms of skills, there is simplicity to her. There is not much in her kit. Like, her skills are very straightforward, easy to understand compared to what we've seen in the past where we've got walls and walls of Egyptian hieroglyphs for bosses. Her skills, very easy to understand, not much to it. But remember, things can change. This is just a test. So we are going to go ahead. I'm just going to show one ability. We're going to start hyping them up. Why not? Cloud Singer. Cast 6 stacks of a buff, decreasing damage received by 50% per stack on ally Wanderers. Other light allies receive half of the amount, so there's a bit of utility there for other factions. 1 stack is spent each time any ally receives damage. Casting Slowdown on all enemies reduces their speed by 60% for 3 turns. If the target is already slowed, Ramfurt casts 2 stacks of Disorient debuff. Each time a disoriented target receives damage, except from dot effects, their initiative is reduced by 40%. 1 stack is spent each time the target receives damage. I'm going to go ahead and cast that. Our aim here is to remove the Yuki. So if we can get a freeze on the Yuki, we do beautiful. And now we're at Roxanne. Now Roxanne, like I said, very simple in terms of abilities. I'm going to show one of her abilities right now. And it's very straightforward. 3 dot points. Very easy to understand. Not a lot to it. But that doesn't make her useless. She excels well in utility and support for her team. So keep that in mind. I will be doing spotlight videos. I hope to do spotlight videos for each one of these heroes covering everything they offer. So we're going to go ahead and use our attack. We take out the Yuki. Beautiful. And now we are going to move over to the... I would like to take out Ash if we can. We're going to go ahead and get a stun here because... No, we didn't. Why didn't we get a stun? That's okay. That's okay. We don't need it. There we go. Ramfurt just comes in and takes out the Ash. Easy peasy. No problem whatsoever for that Griffin. Like I said, he's learnt from the best. Now we have 3 other characters. Let's go ahead and start hitting that Claudia Toxic. We're going to go ahead and take out that Claudia Toxic as well. She is no more. Then we move over to Demetria. The team's doing quite well. I love Eva. I think she's a cool looking hero. I wish the snakes on her head moved a bit more though. So we're going to go ahead and start attacking. Big damage there, leaving only Captain John left. And big damage on him as well. So yeah, the team is capable of doing a lot. And what I wanted to discuss as well, one thing they've added to this team, which I really, really like, I hope they start doing it more often, is the leader, Roxanne, also has the ability to boost your strength in Cradle of Chaos. So it's giving heroes more value than in other areas of the game other than just arena and tournament, which I love. That's not the only thing in the game. There are other game modes. And hopefully when they release future game modes, whenever that is, they keep doing it to new heroes as well, because it just gives them actual use within the game. They're not just arena defense teams to use. So there we go. There's a quick overview of the faction. It's very interesting. There are a few heroes that have pretty in-depth abilities, but like I said, they're not that hard to understand when you take into consideration a faction like the Assassin's Guild, who it's like playing chess when you use them. So many moves. You need to consider what you're doing, what the enemy is doing. This team, pretty straightforward. They're very tanky. But I think that also leads into possibilities for the future where we can probably, hopefully, look at heroes that do damage based on percentage health. That's something that's not really been touched within this game. Raspit is the biggest example. He was a weapon back in the day, Raspit, because when you could trigger the mark and his poison at the same time, he could do huge amounts of damage. He could take out enemies. You wouldn't even have to worry about it because you knew when their turn was going to come, they would just die. The issue with Raspit now is his debuff can just be so easily removed, and there are teams that just far outpower what the bugs can do. But yeah, bringing in a faction that has huge health pools like this, I think there's definitely opportunity to bring in factions that specialize in HP percent damage. So just a thought. But there you go. There is a early view of the Cloud Wanderers. Remember, we do not have the 5th character to test. Her name is, what is it? Astoria, I think. So she looks cool. Out of them all, she's my favorite looking one so far. But very interesting faction, and the more I know, the more I learn, and if given the chance, I will release more videos of these heroes specifically and what they are capable of. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.